You're watching THIMK. You're listening to THIMK. You're watching and listening to. You're watching and or listening to. You're listening. I'm gonna get a clean take, all right? You're listening to. Is this live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, yeah. You're listening to THIMK, a podcast for wait. One more time. All right, start again. Wait.
Hold up. All right, you ready?
We
I'll start the music over.
We've been a couple weeks off. It's fine. It's fine.
Right.
I just need to get it out.
Ready? All right, hold on. Are you ready? Music's back on. All right, ready?
Does it go?
Yeah, that's a go.
Okay. You're listening to THIMK. It's like think, but with an M instead of an N. So it's THIMK, a podcast for learning, an educationalist podcast, a podcast where we think so you don't have to. This week, the M is for musicals. That's right. This is episode 88.
Everyone's favorite neo-Nazi number, 88. We
Or,
tried to skip it.
Or one of the Earnhardts. Not saying that's related, mind you. Where we will be talking about everyone's favorite politician, starting with an H, Hamilton. Everyone's favorite A.H. Alexander Hamilton.
I feel like the throw away your shot was the thing there that gave it away. But you know, if not, what else can you do? You know.
What else can you do? We can start with a little roll call. I'm your host, Nicholas Rue. And with me, do I have Paul Vine?
Yes. Hello. That is me. I am here. I'm peeking. I'm yelling now.
And Paul, what would you say you do around here?
Recently I've been pushing back recording.
Well, recently, and we can get into this now. We can get into it. But we're in a little bit of hot water because of all the friends we made earlier. But thankfully we got one of those SPs, secret pardons. So we are in the clear for now.
Oh, is that what the Game Boy Advance SP stood for?
Is
the
secret pardon?
Okay.
And that was just an okay symbol. That was not. That's just me saying A-okay. That was not.
God.
Racist. I forget that one's racist sometimes. They take everything. Frogs? What's going on with Kermit?
I think Kermit's fine.
No.
It's a different frog that's bad.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like all frogs.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about. I would like to get into that, Nick. Before we get into, let's start with some current events real quick before we get into the meat of the episode.
I feel like a couple things have happened. Yeah, this is also to celebrate. This is to
bring in the
announce. This is happening in tandem with. How do you like? This is adjacent. This is an adjacent episode to the inauguration.
Yeah, the inauguration, which was last week, but well, let's see.
Finally, we've got an Italian in the White House.
Kamala Harris, famous for her Italian heritage.
Isn't Jill? Not Jill? Jill, isn't Jill Italian?
I don't know.
Doctor.
She's a doctor. Dr. Jill. They don't. She will not let you forget it.
I'm sorry. Are you saying she's a doctor? Like doctors can't be Italian?
No, I'm saying Italians can't be doctors because it's a doctore.
Yeah, there. Not all doctors are Italian, but also not all Italians are doctors.
Yeah,
except for some of them.
The Venn diagram is a solid Venn diagram. Like it does overlap. Yeah, we missed a week or two because I wasn't feeling it, and then we were gonna stream last Saturday.
But then we were in a safe place at the advice of our legal team.
Well, I was gonna just straight up say it. I texted Nick at like 4, maybe 5 Eastern Standard Time to be like, hey man, I don't think I can stream tonight. I'm in the emergency room. So I'm fine, but that was a fun way to spend like 6 hours just to have like a little bit of pain and be like, I'm gonna go to the hospital And it wasn't that big of a deal because they like did an EKG.
Yeah. What was
You
he?
know,
You just got like during the Biden inauguration, you just got really, really happy. You got like too
yeah, I
happy,
got really horny.
and your
My
body just
and
got used to
my
that.
blood pressure went boom. Nah, no, I just like I honestly I either pulled something helping my dad
Mm-hmm.
put stuff into the attic, or I ate some pizza too fast. And I hit the age now, I guess, where that's
Yeah,
just gonna cause problems.
you got to eat pizza slow. That's what's good about Chicago is you can't eat deep dish fast.
Yeah,
You can't do it.
the police will come get you. They will
They
come arrest you.
they know. It's like flying. I don't care how fast you want to eat a piece of deep dish. It's not happening. They've
Uh,
had contests, and it still takes like a kind of a while.
yeah, they have like. Does one of the because so there's like Raimundo's down here that does like
Mm-hmm.
here's a 30-inch pizza
Mm-hmm.
that you and a buddy get half an hour to eat. Does Chicago have one of those for like a deep dish where they're just like, here's a deep dish with 35 pounds of meat on it. You get
I'm
an
sure one place
hour.
does, but for the purposes of COVID, not right now. Because they can't be like, here, take 30 inches of deep dish and tell us about it, like film it and then send it to us.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
but
also
what
really hard to eat deep. Like other pizza, New York pizza, you could slam with a mask on. No
I wor-
problem. Deep
I
dish,
wor-
the mask is an issue.
I worked on the episode of Man versus Food where the new guy Casey whatever does Casey
Casey
Webb
Affleck.
Casey Webb, the second Man versus Food, did the pizza eating challenge in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah. At
Yeah, it's like
Raimundo's or a different
no,
place?
it's like it's a little like northeast of the city. It's
Okay.
some yeah, I can't remember exactly where it was, but it's like
Yeah, no, I don't think that's possible. It
it's
would be eating a
yeah,
casserole.
no, it's hard. It's hard. I've tried. I mean, I've eaten like pretty fast. I've eaten some deep dish pretty fast, but they didn't. I got like a letter. It's
It's
like
to me, it's like
the
eating the
mayor
whole.
emailed me. It's like
Yeah,
when you torrent something and they're like, "Hey, we know that you just downloaded a hard-coded Korean subtitled version of the Joker, and you got to cut that out, or we're gonna throttle your internet." Lori Lightfoot sent me a message and was like, "Dude, we
if
heard
you
how fast you
download
ate
another
that deep
pizza,
dish. If you down another pizza, we're gonna limit your jardinara intake."
the thing about the Chicago deep dish is it's such a thicker pizza that if you try to download it, you immediately hit your data cap.
Yeah, shit.
That's the
Talking
thing you
about
have to
that,
deal with up there. I don't have to deal with that here.
you don't have a data cap?
No, not, at least not right now. Knock on wood.
This is my data cap. Yeah, Comcast fucking sucks, dude.
Um,
Xfinity fucking sucks.
so yeah, I spent some time in the hospital, but I think we're gonna get back at it on Saturday.
What'd you do
I
when
got
you were in the hospital? You watched you
I
watched anything
watched
good?
Yeah. Okay. So here's how my hospital visit went. Right. I show up and they're like, "Yeah, I had a little bit of pain on my like left side of my chest," and they're just like, "Oh, that's no good. We're gonna get you at EKG." Yeah, I'm okay. We'll get there. I'm fine. But they're like, "We're gonna get you at EKG," and they don't tell you anything about it. So they put me in a room and they hook me up to like a pulse ox to how much oxygen is in your
Like
blood.
it's a whole ass ox. It's a ox.
Yeah,
Ollie
they
oxen.
so they hooked me up to all the stuff. They stabbed me a bunch of times. I don't know if you can still see it. I've got a pretty bad bruise from
Nope.
where they
Nope. You're
tried to.
well lit. It just looks like white.
That's. I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it is kind of nasty hematoma. So I got
Ew,
I
what's
got those
that?
deep veins. So it's a bruise. It's a fancy term for bruise.
Oh,
So they stabbed me in the crook of my arm, left arm,
bruise.
and that didn't work. So they went to my forearm on my left side, and then they wanted to hook me up to IV at some point. So they went to the right side. So they stabbed me 3 times at least to try to get blood. And then they just left, and I was there for like an hour, and I was just like, okay, I need to pee really bad, and I don't like. I'm hooked up to machines that I could unhook myself, but I feel like that's a problem. right? Like, I feel like I should not unhook the hospital machines.
Yeah.
So I just sat there for a while until somebody came back, and I was just like, hey, yeah, can I go to the toilet? And they're like, oh, yeah, it's no problem. And they just unhooked me, and like, somebody will be back to hook you back up when you get back to your room. And I get back to my room, and then it's another like 45 minutes before they show up. So like, there was like 2 hours where I was just like basically unsupervised in the ER, with a mask on, because obviously it's an ER and, you know, COVID is a thing. So I'm like, you know, I was texting Sarah the entire time. She's like, oh yeah, if there's nobody around you, you're probably okay. Like, if there were things that were worrying, they would probably be like making sure you're not actively dying. So I think I just pulled a muscle or something, and that combined with like the general pizza indigestion.
Yeah, you just
freaked
have
me
bad
out.
heartburn and you pulled a muscle.
I stole a hospital bracelet, technically.
Are you supposed to give those back?
I don't think so. They didn't ask for it back. So, but we will hopefully be streaming Saturday. There's plenty of options. The new Hitman came out.
Yeah, you save that for the end. We talk about that at the end.
All right, we're gonna argue about that.
Yeah. What?
About what we play.
Hype man?
Hype Man.
Hype man.
Yeah, you get a mission where you have to like sneak behind Arcade Fire and
I went
play
to
a hurdy-gurdy.
I was at the hospital, but it's because I was dressed as a nurse and visiting someone I knew who recently got disfigured, but just on half of their body.
And he didn't, much like Hitman, he did not recognize you until you took your disguise off, because it was a really good disguise.
Exactly.
Oh.
Well, it's, you got to wear a mask unless you're getting really close to a friend who is recently dramatically disfigured. But once again, just on half their body.
Oh boy. So, Nick, do you want to get into other current events?
The arcade is on fire. Yeah, let's talk about it. Shit. So, you start.
Okay.
Kong versus Godzilla.
Okay, yeah, I am hyped for that.
Godzilla's gonna win.
Yeah, like, I don't know how Kong.
He's a big dumb monkey. Who gives a shit?
Also, most of the fighting appeared to be in the ocean, and Kong does not really. Monkey's not good at ocean fighting.
Monkey got fist. Godzilla shoot energy beam.
Please, atomic blast. Yeah, that seems like a no-brainer, right? It does look like they're continuing with the like small kid who can empathically connect to giant kaiju thing that they've been doing for the last couple of movies.
Who's been doing that?
They just did that with like the Stranger Things Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh, in what?
In King of the Monsters. She kind of seemed to have a thing with Mothra, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I never
it was not a good.
I didn't know they were set in the same universe.
Yeah, 2014 Godzilla good. The Gareth Edwards one was pretty good. The King of Monsters was not. I heard Skull Island was good.
That's being pretty generous. Hey, I want to walk back statements I made on Twitter yesterday. I did watch I watched 5 episodes of Ted Lasso last night, and it is a very fun, heartwarming show.
Okay, well,
that I do recommend.
Thank God our extraordinary Ted Lasso fan base is no longer outside Nick's house with pitchforks and torches.
And while we're doing TV plugs, I would also like to recommend everyone to watch Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, the show about a woman who has an MRI with a SanDisk Rio in the MRI with her, and then her brain gets infused with songs so she can hear people's deepest, darkest secrets as they sing cover songs.
We talked about this. Is that how that functioned? Was that she had a SanDisk Rio?
It may not have been a SanDisk Rio exactly, but it was an off-brand iPhone for sure. And yeah, now she can hear people's heart through the song and dance numbers that they do at her.
I would like that, but with like a copy of DDR Extreme for the PS2. And she can hear people's thoughts and deepest secrets, but only as like hyper pop Japanese songs that are like 200 beats per minute. So the big thing, Nick, that I've been thinking about for basically since last Friday,
Ooh, thinking about big things. We got a big
is
thing
the
thinker over.
stock market. Are you familiar with the stock market?
Ooh, like cars that race around a track.
Yeah, like a stock car
Like
market.
when you're trying to buy a car that races around a track, or like when you want to get like original OEM parts for a car,
Mm-hmm.
like that
Sure.
kind of money.
Like a bone broth.
Are you talking about the things you put on your feet to kind of protect them from the shoes?
Sure. That's a stretch, but okay, I'll give you.
Are you talking about like when you take a fork and you put it in an outlet, like a you say shock market?
Okay.
You
Um,
talking about when like two DJs with kind of silly names have a morning radio show that's a little out there? You're talking about the shock jock market?
mhm. Sure. Keep it going. How much time can we fill with this?
You talking about when you need to put an outer layering on to protect yourself when you may be working with some kind of material that would otherwise stain your clothes? You talking about a smock market?
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Sure. That one was good. How
Are you talking
about
about some kind of Vulcan from space who who works on the USS Enterprise? You talking about a Spock market?
yeah, okay, I'm gonna cut this off at this point. I feel like we've this that joke is peaked. So if are you
No, I
familiar
didn't hear you though. What did you say? You cut out. You cut out for a
the
second.
shock now you got
The
me
shock
doing
jock
it.
market?
This is the
Okay, yeah.
shock jock market, yeah. I'm buying 100 stocks of Howard. I almost said Howard Zinn.
Schultz.
Howard Zinn would be a very funny, like Howard Zinn getting somebody in on the Sibian, you know.
Let's hear the truth while they ride that thing.
Um,
Howard Schultz, Howard Schultz and Beetlejuice interview Jenna Jameson for 5 hours
um,
while
no,
trying to
so
bounce quarters in each other's buttholes or whatever happens.
um, are you familiar? Did you ever see The Big Short?
Um, I watched The Big Short half asleep
Okay. Well, you
once.
probably
So
are you familiar with the concept of a short from that movie?
okay. Are you talking about like
All right, I'm gonna
are you
cut
talking
you
about
off.
like Randy Newman's least favorite kind of people?
No, I'm talking about what Pixar shows before all of their movies.
Oh. Okay, you're
Um,
talking about like Randy.
yeah, sure.
Like Martin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh,
Oh, you're talking about like The Big, like the short featured in the movie The Big Short, starring Christian Bale, among others.
yes. So, uh, a short in the stock market
Is that
is
that's- okay? Yeah.
is essentially where um you borrow stock and sell it because you think that eventually that stock will go down low enough that you can buy it back for pennies, basically, right? So
Sorry, say that one more time.
you borrow
You borrow
stock
a stock from who?
Mhm. from somebody. I don't
Okay.
know the exact mechanism. Honestly, is still confusing to me, but this is the way that I heard it explained was that like so. For example, say bananas. You're buying stock in bananas. It's a
BANANAS.
yeah, it's a commodity. Bananas are $10 a banana.
Okay, that's a lot for a banana. Is that how much you're paying for bananas?
Yeah.
You're getting fucking ripped, dude. Who's your banana guy?
Okay. So if I think bananas are gonna go to like $1 a banana,
Yeah,
right?
that's a reasonable. That's more. That's more
That's
than you
still,
should be paying
I
for
mean,
a
it's like
banana.
gas station banana, bodega banana.
That's maybe a
Um,
coffee shop banana.
sure. So,
That is a Sidewinder coffee banana. It's 100% $1.
that's 100 cents. That's exactly correct. Is
One hundred
$1.
cent $1. Hey,
Um,
$1, 100 cent the other. $1 one, 100 cent of another.
right? So if I think bananas are going to drop in price, there's
from
not really
$10 or from
from $10, right? So what
Okay,
I could do is I could short banana. So I could say, let me borrow.
short a banana. Those are called plantains.
Yeah, baby banana bunch. So I will say, like, Nick, let me borrow 10 bananas,
Mm-hmm.
and then I sell those bananas immediately.
Okay, how much do you sell them for?
I sell them for 10 because that's what they're worth right now, right?
Okay, and
So
you're
that
gonna
gives
give
me-
me all that money, or you're
No,
gonna
I
give me
get that
10
money.
bananas back?
I get that money. I owe you bananas, but I get
Okay.
that money, right? So I make $100 selling 10 bananas for $10.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm counting on bananas dropping to $1 so that I could then buy 10 bananas for $10 total.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just give you your bananas back.
Okay.
No harm, no foul. You're made whole, right? You've got 10 bananas. I've got $90.
Mm-hmm.
I just made a shit ton of money. That is essentially what shorting is, right? That's like a baby's first short. A bunch of
Baby's got a lot of bananas.
Yeah, a bunch of capital investment companies were like, let's do this with GameStop, the video game company.
Wait, a bunch of who did this?
Like venture, like hedge funds, basically.
Okay.
Melvin Capital is the one that everyone's talking about, where they basically bet really big, and like, I'm the exact numbers I'm not 100% sure of, but what I was told is that they have shorted GameStop stock at 140%. Right. So like the idea that there's an amount of stock out there, right? There's a number of shares. They have somehow shorted it more than the number of shares that exist. They sold off more than 100 shares, or 100% of the shares. Because they were counting on it tanking. And they've been doing this for a while. So it's been going on for a while. What our friend Kyle has told me is that like this has been at least in the move for, since August of last year.
Sure.
I guess a bunch of people, specifically everyone's blaming Reddit. Kyle says don't blame Reddit. It's more than that. But like basically the narrative right now is that a bunch of Wall Street bets guys on Reddit, it's a subreddit, caught wind of this and decided we can make buku bucks if we all buy up GameStop's stock, therefore pushing the price up. Because the thing about the bananas, right? If I borrow 10 bananas from you and sell it for $100, right? If the bananas go down, I'm going to make money. But if the bananas go up, I still owe you 10 bananas. And eventually, I'm going to have to give you those bananas back. So if the bananas go up to like $100 a banana, I got to buy 10 bananas.
As bananas are wont to do.
Right. I got to buy 10 bananas, which is $1,000. And I spent, nothing, right? So I got to spend $1,000 now. Now I sold those bananas for $100. But now I have to spend $1,000 to get them back to give to you. So you have infinite risk there. And so that's what's happening, right? They did this with GameStop.
I already don't like normal risk.
Yeah, so they just pushed it up. So GameStop's stock went from like $2 in April of last year.
Sounds about right.
To $40. Well, not even that. It was like $20 or something like that 2-3 weeks ago. Now it is at, last I heard, somewhere in the 300s. It was 40 last Friday.
Okay, here's my question: who's making money here?
Basically anybody who's not shorted the stock. Like anybody who's buying this up could potentially make money. Now the problem is that this is a bubble, right? And so as soon as it starts to fall, it's going to plummet because everybody who, especially people who are late to the game, right? Like if you got in on Friday at $40 a share.
Yeah, I just bought all my monies in GameSpot.
GameStop.
What?
Uh-oh.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, if you got in at like $40 a share, you could go out now and make a hefty penny.
Yeah.
People are
Like
holding
a
on to
large
the
penny, like a heavy penny, like a big
Yeah.
ass penny.
Well, the idea here is that Melvin Capital already, in order to try to make up for the amount of stock that they shorted, needed like additional funds from other hedge funds.
Mm-hmm.
From is my understanding, that might not necessarily be correct. And by the end of the week, they will probably be bankrupt.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
Let's break this down. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna get into Hamilton at this point.
We'll get there.
Oh my god, I don't know if I have time. I have nothing else to do. I just don't know if my brain's gonna stay within me for that. It'll leave.
I got some notes.
How does a stock go from being $2 to being 100 bananas?
Well, it's $100. It becomes money.
Okay, I got that. Is everyone chat? You getting this? GAMESPOT, you got this? You following?
The point is, like, because this capital hedge fund place needs to replenish the stock, right? Like they need to buy up GameStop stock, and now people are basically refusing to sell it. They're buying it up and they're holding it, thus driving the price up.
Okay.
So the idea is that, like, you know, they have a crude way of saying it, but it's basically like we can be ignorant longer than they can be solvent. They're basically trying to hold out until this hedge fund collapses. Which is, you know, it's a thing where it's like I'm not necessarily on the side of Reddit Wall Street nerds. But I'm certainly not on the side of hedge funds. And like as a third party, it is incredibly funny to watch like the US economy do well last year, right? Because the US economy doing well means that the stock market is doing well. A bunch of people are losing their jobs and getting sick and dying. But hey, the economy is doing great because the stock market's doing well. So it is there's like a schadenfreude from this whole thing. So I don't know, like we could wake up tomorrow and it'd be you know, the Black Friday 1929 crash again.
Okay. So Reddit isn't taking over GameStop.
They might. I don't you know, the idea is that if you own more than 50% of the stock, you own the company. My understanding is that the company specifically don't sell that amount of stock or have that amount of stock available to be purchased at any time, so that some schmo couldn't just like buy up all the stock for GameStop and become owner of GameStop. Somebody with an economics degree, which is fake.
A subreddit buys over half the stock of GameStop. They could then convert every GameStop location into some kind of Reddit cafe.
Sure.
That should be stopped. That sounds like the only thing worse than GameStop.
Don't worry. My feeling is that the government will not give us $1,400 checks down from $2,000 that they promised. But what will happen is they will pass legislation within a week that
with giving us GameStop stock.
I could see Joe Biden's you know, oatmeal brain being like, yeah, just give everybody $2,000 of trade-in credit at GameStop, right? That'll fix it. Everybody's getting a PS5, baby.
Yeah, how you feel about Joe's first week?
I mean, it's mixed. You know, there's like
Sleepy Joe.
There's some executive orders.
Do you miss Trump?
No. There's some executive orders that Joe has signed.
Like, do you miss Trump?
And here's the thing. Like,
have you been watching like Celebrity Apprentice reruns just to remember what it feels like?
No. I guess I could watch like an 80s comedy movie that's really racist, and that could be kind of like filling the hole that Trump left.
Like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think who's the guy who made Dick, or sorry, Vice, and
Who
the guy
made
who
Gavin McInnes, the guy who made Dick? That's
no, the
God.
guy
God
no
made
the
Dick.
do you think Adam McKay is gonna make a movie about the GameStop short?
Possibly. I saw people joking about that, and I could see it happening, like just The Big Short 2. But
I'd actually,
even dumber this time. Like, it does kind of feel like there's the Marx quote, right, about I think it's in the 18th premiere.
Groucho?
Or no, the Carl,
Oh, Carl.
where he says history
He's
repeats
the one that
itself.
cut the ties, right?
Yes. History repeats itself. First is tragedy, then is farce.
Mm-hmm.
And this does kind of feel like the farcical version of The Big Short, where they were just like, instead of, investment guys, this like Wolf of Wall Street people, it's a bunch of like Reddit incels who also kind of think that they're Wolf of Wall Street, just like hyping each other up, because the Geese Breath mentioned AMC, right? AMC is another one that they hopped on and are trying to pump up. So that was like $5 yesterday, and then was opened at like 20 today, and I don't know where it's at now. I don't think it's gone. I don't think it's exploded. Mostly because all the stock exchanges basically stopped people from buying it. Like Ameritrade just straight up was just like, oh yeah, nobody's allowed to buy these stocks because it's being unfairly manipulated, as if the stock market hasn't existed for 100 years off of unfair manipulation of stock prices.
Has it been that long? It feels like just yesterday.
So I don't have anything else about the stock market. I don't know anything about the stock market. It's all economics isn't real. Or at least economics in the stock market sense, financialization,
Yeah, I took a microeconomics and a macroeconomics class because I had to. I showed up late. I sat in the back. I never paid attention. I just kind of answered randomly on every test and got a C.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just what they give you for economics because no one really knows.
As long as you answer every question with like, yeah, poor people deserve to die, like they'll give you at least points for trying,
Mm-hmm. I don't think that was my essay. Maybe that's why I got a C.
Yeah, that probably would have given you like a B at least.
Yeah.
So
A C plus. Yeah. Well, you live and you learn and lose empathy. Do you think they'll have Leonardo DiCaprio as a Redditor? Because I'd like to see that.
they're gonna make him that what are they called? Wojaks?
Yeah, they're called Wojaks.
They're gonna make him the one of the guy going like, with his mouth open really big and the neck beard.
Okay, yeah. I thought they're gonna turn him into he was already a Rage comic.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Specifically the thing of him walking
or
like
he's
that.
walking like that. Yeah.
Or the him doing the like from Inception.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nick, let's move on to what we came here to talk about.
What? Oh yeah.
Politics.
In the Heights.
No. That comes out this year though, right?
What?
They're doing a movie of that.
Oh, they're doing a movie of that, because I was gonna tell you, bro, that already came out.
Yeah, no. Movie adaptations of like famous musicals are always like 20 years behind the times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sound of Music actually came out. The original version was like what, 1910?
Yeah, it predated the Nazis, which was really wild because they had the whole Nazi regular girl subplot, and everyone was just like, "What the fuck is a Nazi?"
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like the thing with Titanic, where there was like that book about the Titanic in like in the 1850s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, they made that book.
I don't think they've ever made a book, Nick.
No, there's that book, and it's called like
The Titanic.
It's called Don't Get on the Titanic, and it's from 1780.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the book where it's just like, here's a big ship that's unsinkable. It hit iceberg.
Yeah,
and then it sunk, and everyone was just like, cool. And it was called like big ship.
It was called it was something like Titanic, but
like
not
the
Titanic.
gigantic.
Like the Titania.
Titania is a Greek thing, like a Roman mythology
Book the book about the Titanic,
but not about the
written before it. Thank you, autocorrect. That's exactly the question I had. The wreck of the Titan.
The Titan.
The Titan, dude. The Titan, colon, or, comma, futility. Where it had one of those secondary titles. That's so sick. Books should do that anymore.
That's cool. I was thinking about the Titanic today.
Girl. Or, colon, or how I learned to stop being cool and start killing.
Is that the full title of that movie?
No, but it'd be cool if it was a book first. By Gillian Welch.
Jacobs.
Anderson.
I was thinking about the Titanic earlier today because I was reminded of the video game.
I think about Titanic like every day, man.
9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Which is a DS game, Japanese.
What's it called?
Game.
999?
Yeah, it's 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors.
You know that means in German.
Yeah, it means no.
No.
It is a video game in which it's like basically Saw. Like 9 people wake up on a cruise liner, and they're like tasked with escaping or they die, and they've got like bracelets, and if they don't follow the rules, there's a bomb inside of them that will explode. Buck wild game, but like the whole thing with that is that it is an experiment that is going on actually not on a cruise ship but in a building in the desert that is based off an old experiment in which they tried to separate siblings and put one set of siblings in the desert in a fake cruise ship and then put the other set of siblings on a real cruise ship, and have them go through the same puzzles at the same time, with the idea that if one sibling solves the puzzle, the solution will somehow be transmitted to the other sibling through telepathy, basically. And so they did that, right? They did this like 30 years ago. And a kid died. But that kid actually, her name was like Akane or something like that. She, through somebody else, set up a future experiment based off of this one that she is now seeing through the eyes of a kid 30 years in the future, or something like that.
Is this fucking Assassin's Creed? Did you just fucking rope me into Assassin's Creed again?
It's not Assassin's Creed, but it is like
That's Assassin's Creed, dude. Don't fucking trick me into your fucking Assassin's Creed fanfic that you're fucking pitching to me right now.
The twist is that like she died, but actually no, she put together a new version of this experiment so that somebody in the future can solve the puzzle that killed her, and then beam the answer back to her 30 years ago so that she can survive and escape the puzzle.
Okay.
And then it turns out that they've been in the Nevada desert the entire time.
Whoa. Okay. So it's like a little Arrival. It's like a little that one episode of The Twilight Zone, and it's a lot of fucking Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's a great game. There's 3 of them.
Oh.
They're not like necessarily directly related, but it is
there aren't 3?
Hamiltons.
Half-Lives.
Oh. That begins with an H.
It does begin with an H.
It's not a politician.
Begins with an H.
New York City, 1776.
Hamilton, an American musical.
Oh, is it? It's Colland. I forgot that one's also
It's Hamilton, an American musical. Not to be confused with the non-American Hamiltons.
Right. Nick,
you currently reside in
America. Yes.
In somewhere within the county of Hamilton, right? Or do you? I
believe yes, I am in Hamilton County.
Well, you're
not named after. Well, maybe named after
the musical.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was named after the musical.
How and Nick, I don't even know how to go into this fucking musical.
Okay, I do. Don't. Shit sucks.
Okay, so here's the thing that I know. I know that we talked about doing this months ago, right?
Months ago, after I tried to watch Hamilton.
Yeah, like when it first came out, we talked.
It
I think
dropped
that
on
was
Disney Plus.
yeah, and
they
I think
said,
that was
"Oh, we got it." And then I got drunk. I fucking watched as much Hamilton as I could and live tweeted the entire thing. So I'm gonna try and look up my Twitter thread for that. Definitely gave up about halfway through.
So I watched the whole thing in preparation for that episode that we did not record.
Did you watch it again?
I watched the first half. Man,
Okay,
it's hard to get through. It is just a lot of musical, right? Like it is, 3 hours of musical.
Mm-hmm.
It leans really hard into being a musical. And
Yeah,
I mean that in the way that like it does the things that people who are really into musical theater kind of love, right? Like it is
suck shit and be annoying.
I don't I know that you don't like it because you're a big fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda's earlier works. You liked it when he performed Hamilton for Obama in the White House.
I liked when he was on that episode of The Sopranos and he plays a busboy and they're like, "Hey, have you seen this guy?" And he's like, "Hey, I don't know, man. I got stuff to do. All right, I'm reading a book about Alexander Hamilton." And they said, "What's that name you just said?" And he said, "Alexander Hamilton." You could tell he's still working on it. Can't believe David Chase let him improv his own lines.
Here's the thing. The Disney Plus version, like the filmed version that they released, I think would have been, I don't want to say outright tolerable, but I think it would have been better if it wasn't Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hamilton.
Oh God, yeah. It'd be better if it wasn't Lin-Manuel Miranda performing, or if they found a different writer.
I mean, even take everything else, leave everything else the same, right? And you just change him, because whenever he does anything, and I don't, despite playing music and stuff, I don't know enough about musical theory to like get into the nitty gritty. I've got a friend who is like musical theory background, and could speak very eloquently about like the cool stuff in Hamilton. That's like, oh yeah, he goes to the sixth or whatever, and blah blah blah. I'm sure that if you're a music nerd, like there's certain things in here that you would love. But for me, the note that I have here is that Lin-Manuel Miranda sounds like if MC Chris were on a Wu-Tang album.
Okay.
Like everybody else is.
Listen, fuck off if you're gonna use that as an insult, because you love one. How many gex is it? 100 or 1,000?
It's 100 gex. I think
it's 100. Okay, it's 100 gex, which sounds like a pitched up MC Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
but it's different, right? It's a different thing, because this isn't like what happens here is you've got people who are basically trying to rap like famous, and this is the thing you were complaining about to me, is how all the rap in this, all the, like the songs in this, are just ripoffs of basically 90s hip hop for the most part.
Not even. There's one song that sounds exactly like All the Lights. Like it. Okay. Now, looking back on my tweets for the first 20 minutes, I did think it was very funny, and then took a sharp fucking turn about a few minutes, 4 minutes later. That
was when the alcohol kicked off. You like sobered up. You sobered up immediately.
I had no point sobered up for this, man. All of the songs in it sound like someone bought Lin-Manuel Miranda bought a now that's what I call rap volume 2. And then was just like, "Oh, I can work with this. Let me put this on while I read my Alexander Hamilton."
It sounds like he did Weird Al parodies of rap songs.
And you're putting some fucking shame on Weird Al's name. that you should feel bad about, except Weird Al did the Hamilton polka, and it only makes it fucking slightly more tolerable, dude.
It's really bad, and Lin-Manuel Miranda is not a good rapper, singer, actor. 90% of the time in this fucking musical, when he's on screen, he's just kind of like standing there awkward, and it's just like, yes, sir. Did you, sir, see the sir, Aaron Burr, sir?
Oh, I'm gonna fucking barf up that gin and tonic I just swallowed down. It's painful. Like every single fucking part of it is painful. It sucks because so much of it reads as like a fucking like you know how people say that the room Tommy Wiseau wrote and acted in so he could pretend to have friends and pretend to have people that liked him. That's how fucking Hamilton feels. Like it
I have,
feels
yeah, no, go ahead.
especially Lin-Manuel Miranda playing the lead character who just shows up and is like, "Hey, I'm an orphan, but I'm cool, and here's what's gonna happen. All these important people are gonna immediately become my best friends. Everyone's gonna be laughing at my jokes. I'm gonna have like 4 women in love with me at the same time."
My note about this is him with a harem of women who love him is like Ready Player One Ernest Cline essay around nerd girl porn.
Dude, it
Like
feels
it's the
so.
most fucking like wish fulfillment self-insert fan fiction ass thing.
Yeah, okay, you're right. If anyone but Lin-Manuel Miranda were Alexander Hamilton, it's probably better. Anyone that saw it fucking on the first 2 tours into the West End, I will respect their feeling towards it. Um, but especially the fucking I just people like watch this and were like, I saw it and I wept. It was the most beautiful thing
I
I've ever
don't
seen.
I don't understand. So I tried to do the thing and I failed, right? And my dad will be upset with me about this. But I tried to do the thing where I didn't read the fucking Chernow Hamilton biography because I would rather eat dirt. But I did try to do the thing where I like read up on Hamilton to kind of get a
Hmm.
sense for like what is
Alexander
his,
Hamilton.
yeah, like what is his life
He
compared
was
to what's,
born a bastard.
he was a bastard, orphan, son of
Don't
a
fucking
whore.
don't
And
you fucking stop right now. I will leave this fucking call. I'm not. I'll download a fucking script and crash your internet. I'll script kitty you off the fucking internet.
well,
If
okay,
if
so
if any more if oh don't even say you can say it.
I
You
got
can
to
make
the here's the thing. I got to the intermission, and I think I started the song that brings you into the second act, which usually, statistically, I've said this. I tend to like the outro of the first act songs, like the
mm-hmm.
first like big number. I tend to be a fan of, and then I like the scene setting of the second act.
Mm-hmm.
About the musical we've watched. I had to quit here, but the thing is about this. Um, is I'm trying to still piece together why the fuck this musical got huge.
Yeah,
Right? Like 5
yeah.
years ago,
Mm-hmm.
2016, this musical was enormous.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
was dying
Are
to
you
see
saying
it.
yeah. Yeah, this was definitely like a musical that was riding high on the end of the Obama era.
Mm-hmm.
That like definitely empowered the fucking Trump years to come just from the sheer like liberal fucking obliviousness.
Well, so here's my theory about this, and this is not like an informed theory, but this is like from like what little reading I did of
Hey,
Hamilton.
this is THIMK. This is not the place for informed theories.
But my theory as to why this took off is a like the musical itself, right? Is basically everybody is a person of color except for King George, who is maybe the best part of this.
In the Disney Plus version, yeah, I fucking love Jonathan Groff. And
Um,
you know what? He plays his character. I like a couple of the people in this. Um
I think
and
Aaron Burr, Leslie Odom Jr. is like decent.
Leslie Odom Jr. is good in other things. I don't particularly like him in this. Everyone but fucking Jonathan Groff and I like Daveed Diggs. He
Yeah,
shows up. When he's fucking Lafayette, I like him. He has a natural charisma. As soon as he came on, I was like, yeah, I like that guy.
He's also Jefferson later, right? Like,
Yeah, that's what fucking turned me off, because he just comes back and he's like not wearing a ponytail, or like he like does have his hair up or doesn't have his hair up, and that's as far as they went in costuming. And then they had to write in several times like, oh hey, Thomas Jefferson, you're Thomas Jefferson. Thanks for
yeah.
being here right
I
now,
mean,
Thomas
the
Jefferson.
biggest giveaway is that he's not doing the really bad French accent.
I like that, dude. I liked that. And I think that's why I like Jonathan Groff too, because he was the only person that played into the fact that this shit is like dumb and campy. Like Jonathan Groff's performance, especially in the LG version, is like super campy and over the top.
The only thing, the really the thing that I did not like about his performance, and this is nothing against him, is that
Hmm.
fucking song. I hate the chorus of. Like,
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
everything else. I love that it does like a Beatles British invasion thing as kind of a goof. Like everything else is hip hop, but he's doing like a 1960s Beatles vibe.
Hmm.
I think that's great. The only thing I fucking hate is the da 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 da
Hmm.
da 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 da, like words. It's a musical. You speak so much the rest of the time. Why are you gonna just rely on fucking scatting here?
Yeah. No, I'm
And
fine with that.
bad scatting.
That feels that feels like a weird boomer opinion. Like,
I
what are you
don't.
gonna just make noises, not use words in song?
Oh,
That's
but
dumb.
it's the, I don't know. It's the way that it's done that I
Uh
don't
huh.
like. And again, this isn't
But
on him. This is on
but hey, I
the.
love shapoopy, and that's a made up nonsense word too.
That's true. Okay.
I
So
love
so
shapoopy.
so here's my thing, right? Like this is to
What's
get
your
back
thing?
to.
Just one more
So
thing. It's your
so
thing. Here you go.
I think that having it be like all people of color doing this play,
Uh
right?
huh.
Them shoehorning this like strong anti, like I say strong, it's also not that strong anti-slavery thing that Hamilton, like, that's where I stopped listening. Was when Hamilton dunks on Jefferson for being a slave owner, and I'm like, okay, all y'all motherfuckers are slave owners. You
Yeah.
don't get to write that out. Um, but like the
Wasn't the
thing,
thing that Alexander Hamilton didn't own slaves, but like his wife did?
yeah, I think so. And he did argue against slavery, but like not, like, the thing is most of the founding fathers who were anti-slavery were not like absolute anti-slavery. Like they weren't abolitionists. They were just like, the South can continue to be slave owners. We shouldn't do it up here. We don't need to do it up here, but they need it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it's important still, so we should allow them to continue to do it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, but wasn't Lincoln also
oh
basically
yeah,
of that
Lincoln
opinion?
Lincoln Lincoln had a thing where he, I think, like wanted to just kind of like almost a Pan-African thing where he's just like, yeah, black people and white people can't exist together, so we should just send them back. Yeah, that was a big, like, that was like the anti-slavery take for a long time, was just like, oh yeah, like we just don't get along, so they should just go home.
Was Abraham? Never mind.
So but I, the thing that Hamilton does, and it's, I don't think it necessarily comes across super well in this musical until near the end. I think there's some stuff about it, but like Hamilton himself, like, kind of got on people's nerves because he argued basically that like the president and Congress people should rule for life.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big thing that he argued when they were trying to figure out, like, what does new America look like now that we've, gotten free from the British government, like what is our version of America look like? And he argued that, like, yeah, if the president should exist as president forever, basically, unless they are corrupt, right? Like there should be some sort of recall mechanism, but they should be president for life. And I think that the reason this fucking took off to some degree is because liberals want that too, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
liberals are that fucking, I forget the actor's name, but the guy in Get Out who's like, "Oh, I would have voted for Obama a third term." Like that's the thing that, like, it tapped into, that I think is also why they like Hamilton, is
Oh
they
yeah.
really just want a benevolent ruler that can rule them forever and tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And like, if they do something wrong, sure, like, we'll pull them out and replace them with somebody new.
I mean, what, one term of Biden, then they want whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what they want, right? Like 2022, the Republicans are gonna fucking win back the House and the Senate because Joe Biden is gonna, whisper the word $100 into every American's ear, but not give them anything. Joe Manchin is gonna flip and become a Republican.
You can't
With
trust
Kristen Sinema.
Mansion. Isn't it funny that last names are Mansion and Cinema?
Yeah, but they're both spelled incorrectly.
I know, but that's like how you do it.
That's
Otherwise it would be too heavy-handed in the text of life.
So do you think they did like a Usual Suspects thing where they were just like looking around when they were giving a fake name and he just happened to see a mansion and was just like, oh, mansion?
I think, yeah, when they were cloned underground in the depths in the chambers of the deep state, yeah, they forgot to come up with
like the Uruk guy.
Yeah. when
Saruman or when the dwarves dug too deep and awoke something, it's Joe Manchin as the Balrog.
Oh yeah. Man, I really wish I watched Lord of the Rings and knew what all that was about.
I just watched all of them again.
What's a Balrog?
A Balrog.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I know what that is. But does it mean the same thing in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. Yes. That's the thing that Gandalf says shall not pass.
He's like, take this, Frodo. I'm done.
Yeah.
They get wet. Sometimes.
I don't really. The only other note that I have on Hamilton, I tried to take notes and I literally got 4 lines. The only other note here is that they keep talking about Hamilton as an immigrant, which is very funny because he's not. Like, yes, he's an immigrant because he's technically from Nevis or whatever in the Caribbean, but like,
yeah,
he's an immigrant in the same way that like basically everybody in America at that time was an immigrant. Like, I guess George Washington was born in Virginia, but many of his motherfuckers just like came over or at most second generation,
Yeah. And that's the thing that I think is makes it a little hard to talk about. But I feel like there's so much fucking like social equity, social awareness, social justice, like posturing as a product of Hamilton, which is a discourse that's already absolutely happened. But it's just fucking palpable, dude. Like,
well, the good news is that nobody remembers this fucking play, right? Like this play came out on Disney way too late. Like, its moment had already passed because Trump won. Right? Like, I feel like it was so inextricably tied to Hillary Clinton's run for office that when she lost, everyone just kind of forgot about it until Disney Plus was like, hey, we got a film version. Everyone's like, oh, cool, I'll relive that. Or for the majority of people, I'll watch that for the first time because tickets were incredibly expensive.
Which the fucking feeds into the whole thing about it being fucking like people not doing anything and acting like
sold out for 3 years or some shit.
Also, I don't think I'm saying fucking woke anymore. I feel like it started ironic.
Oh, at this point, I feel like if you say something is woke, like that feels like the only people saying that are people who are complaining about, like, this is the same people who would say SJW, right? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. The internet's too fucking right, dude. It's hard to talk about liberal shit that just sucks. Like fucking Hamilton.
Yeah.
We're here.
It's still
we're here
fucking,
and we're brave and we're just too
Nick,
idiots.
the fucking campaign literally raised money to send inner city black kids to go see Hamilton for free and viewed that as like,
you said the campaign. What campaign? The movie The Campaign with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah.
Seems like a dumb thing they do.
The Clinton campaign.
No, they didn't.
That was like a thing. They teamed up to do this. And Lin-Manuel Miranda's whole thing is like his dad is like a big to do in like Puerto Rico, and like he has had a bunch of shit. Like he's got his fingers in the pie of like rebuilding Puerto Rico, and like
Who does?
Lin-Manuel Miranda. There's a bunch of shit out
His
there, but
fingers in pie?
yeah, there's a whole litany of stuff that like his dad and like um the, the like corporation or whatever that he's tied to, like messing with after Puerto Rico got hit by like the hurricane, of like rebuilding and like really just fucking that up in like the way that an NGO nonprofit would. I, to be honest, I do not remember all of this stuff, but it is like you could go find somebody talking about that stuff in a way more eloquent way than my drunk ass right now.
That's fine. You're drunk. You have one drink, brother.
I haven't been drinking, Nick.
Well, I haven't been drinking until I was. Okay, I'm gonna go through. So my main issue with Hamilton, is that I hate Lin-Manuel Miranda. I hate his face. I hate the way he acts. I hate how serious he is with every line. And his writing and direction for this are very self-serious. I hate that every single song sounds like a ripoff of a better song, and that it seems like they just took like already popular rap songs, did a half-ass Weird Al parody to be about American history. So they did some fucking like not even Animaniacs, that would be too generous, but like some fucking Hysteria shit from the early 2000s.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Some Schoolhouse Rock shit, and then just fucking libs ate it up. And then theater kids liked it. Yeah, of course, theater kids liked it. Theater kids like every single fucking play that's ever come out. Here, I would like to go through my.
I do have a question for you, real quick.
Yes.
This is the only other thing that I can remember from this musical. Does Hercules Mulligan fuck horses?
I don't know. I don't know if that sounds like a Letterkenny joke.
There is a line. There is a line when they introduce you to Hercules Mulligan and Lafayette and the like Night to Remember or whatever. It's like the third fucking song in this play. After they do the whole like, I'm Alexander Hamilton and I punched a guy and he sold papers or whatever, and he's like, you punched the bursar, sir, Aaron Burr, sir. But there's a line where Hercules Mulligan.
Reddit shit. That's also some like little Reddit shit right there. Okay, yeah. Sorry, tell me about
Hercules Mulligan.
And also, you said Hercules Mulligan. That's a real person from history.
Yeah, yes, he is.
That's the coolest name.
That's the thing. There's some parts of this that are like the cool things that are in here are like things from history. Yeah, Alexander Hamilton, when he first moved to America, basically like roomed with Hercules Mulligan, and they basically like did a bunch of trading shit together. They were Wolf of Wall Street guys. He moved to New York and they got real into Wall Street bets.
They're shorting GameStop.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
I remember Hercules Mulligan. I liked this actor. I thought it was painful how they have him just like do a big laugh at unfunny jokes. Like whenever whenever Lin-Manuel Miranda says anything, they have him go like, ha.
Yeah. But there's a line when they're doing the introduction.
Also, have you seen what actual fucking Hercules Mulligan looks like?
Oh no, I don't want to. I don't want
the most prune-faced little old colonial bitch. Just a little fucker. Just looks like. Oh
my god. So when they introduce Hercules Mulligan, right? That song is actually okay because they're doing like they're pounding on the table. It's kind of like the train song in The Music Man.
Oh my god! Sorry.
They're pounding on the table, do the beatboxing.
Yeah.
And when they introduce Hercules Mulligan, he has a line about like lock up your women and your horses. Because he's like
that horse.
Yeah, because he's like lock up your. It's like watch out for your wives. I'm gonna make them come again. Lock up your women and your horses. And like there's like it's like very clearly doing like, yeah, this guy is fucking horny and he loves to smash. Also, lock up your women. Sure, get it. He wants to smash and your horses. Which I only can assume that means he's gonna come fuck your horses too.
Hey, can you see files if I send them to you or no because of your screen layout?
I can't see them.
What if I drop a link in the? I just copy image address.
I mean, I could pull it up. It's gonna the stream is gonna look real fucking goofy there for a
No,
second.
it's fine. I just dropped that for you to enjoy in the chat. Just googling Hamilton.
I'll come to it later. I'll look at it later. Oh, there it is. Yeah, let me see that. He's sad.
It sucks. Why did they act like anyone wants to fuck Lin-Manuel Miranda?
He's married. I had to look that up because I wasn't sure. He's been married since 2010 to his college sweetheart. I said college sweetheart. Apparently, he was 2 years younger than her and had a crush on her, and he didn't want to talk to her for a long time.
Yeah. Well, Lin-Manuel Miranda was in fucking everything in 2016, dude. He was in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He popped up in that just to be like a guy that was like
He's in an episode of House.
He's in an episode of Psych.
He's not in an episode of Psych, I don't think. If he is,
he's in an episode of Monk.
I don't think that's true either.
He's in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
That's true.
Really feels like he should have been in The Last Jedi. Like, it seems like he should have played an alien that Luke hangs out with, and they like sing songs together.
I was thinking that
sucks on his hips.
Like, to save Ahmed Best from further humiliation, Lin-Manuel Miranda should play Jar Jar going forward.
Okay, I don't like that, but if Lin-Manuel Miranda gets to write Jar Jar a Star Wars musical, sure.
How could a Gungan?
No, fucking, I'm out, dude. You can't. Fucking, did you ever see Mary Poppins Returns?
No, I did not. Did he write the music for that?
I don't know, but he's in it as fucking Dick Van Dyke.
That's right. He as Dick Van Dyke. Yeah. Like, he plays Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, he plays Dick Van Dyke.
Here's the thing. I think the music in Moana was good. He did that.
Did he do that all alone?
For the most part, I think Jermaine Clement wrote his song, but like, I think for the rest of it, I think it was him. Maybe
yeah, mostly I remember.
The thing is I think that he knows enough about music that when he's writing regular music stuff, it can be good. The problem is that with Hamilton, I think he saddled himself to let me just rip off rap songs that white people know, right? Like, that's really what it is.
Here's the thing. I'm looking back at my notes, and by notes I mean
your tweets. I get it.
Drunk tweets from 6 months ago. 40 minutes in, there's an obvious Beyonce ripoff, that Kanye ripoff, a possible R. Kelly ripoff, and then there's one song I said was just Evanescence. There's a song. Here's what I said. This is Evanescence. This is Wake Me Up Inside. This is Rap History remix with a goofy gun dance choreography, and I believe Shabla might be part of it.
It's not the 10 Dual Commandments is literally the 10 Crack Commandments.
The what?
10 Crack Commandments, Biggie.
What are you talking about?
There's a song that they do called the 10 Dual Commandments when Burr and...
I did not get that far.
Sorry. Oh, really? It's pretty soon. It's pretty early. And then they bring it back later when Burr and Hamilton duel.
Maybe they did it the first time. It just turned into a blur. There's one that reminded me of Stan featuring Dido.
Sorry, hold up. An Aaron Blur? Let me repeat that louder.
An Aaron Blur, that's nice.
A blur, sir?
I'll fucking leave, dude.
I'm sorry, man. There's so many times. There's a moment in this where George Washington rhymes the word second with second like 5 times in a row. That is like a thing that, you know, I can't be too mad at because it feels like some Kanye shit. But also,
okay, yeah, I got as far as some song reminded me of Ed Sheeran. There's one part where there's a ghost and they just put a blue light on him, like in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that would be second half then. I think that's in the second act.
I think someone says, "Who the F is this?"
Yeah, there's a couple times where they bleep out that.
They
bleep out the F word.
But do they have someone going like bleep as they look at the audience?
I mean, Hercules Mulligan has a line where he's like, "You know who the F I am," or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's when they reveal that he's been doing some spying for the revolution.
Yeah, I do like her Gibby's Mulligan. What I like the guy who played him too. I don't know anything else he's been in. Yeah, and then it got really Reddit for me around the part that they introduced like his third lover.
Oh my god, the whole, again, that's a weird thing where they're just like, the whole thing with the sisters is very hard not to, having not heard of Lin-Manuel Miranda or Hamilton really until after already knowing about My Brother and Me. It's very hard not to just see the Schuyler sisters as him doing a like homage to the brothers. Because there's a couple things. There's like a thing in Hamilton where they do the unless thing that the McElroys do,
What's the unless thing that they do?
where somebody says something that's like, oh, it would never happen unless, and then the other ones would go unless.
Does that happen in the musical?
That happens in the musical.
Wow. I didn't even know they did that.
But like every time they do the Schuyler sisters, it's like something, I forget the first one. Eliza and Peggy. Peggy is Travis.
I remember that. I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
But that whole thing is weird where there's a whole song where like the one Schuyler sister is like, yeah, I want to smash Hamilton, but I'm going to turn him down so that my sister can smash him. And then like the rest of the musical is just like them talking about how much they would love to smash Alexander Hamilton. They're like, they don't exist outside of, man, I would love to jump on that man's
it's
ding
that
dong.
weird wish fulfillment shit. I wish, maybe it's good. Maybe the version of Hamilton that I don't have to see Lin-Manuel Miranda's face is good, but people like him, and he's really the most. Everyone likes him. Like Weird Al Yankovic likes him.
I mean, they're not that different, right? Like that's the thing. It's
don't you fucking dare say that. Don't you fucking dare say that.
I think they appeal to the same person.
Don't you fucking dare say that.
I think they appeal to the same person. I think that Weird Al tends to appeal more towards suburban, like Republican dads.
Weird Al appeals to suburban Republican dads?
Yeah. Based on the concert I went to, yes. I know. I'm not happy about it either.
You went to a Weird Al concert in fucking Kettering, Ohio. I don't think there's anyone but suburban dads in Kettering, Ohio.
I mean, but they came from miles around.
The suburban moms are all suburban.
I mean, they also love Weird Al.
Yeah,
there was some women who were fucking horned up for Weird Al at that concert.
You know who else loves Weird Al? Paul.
You, me,
fucking everybody.
Yeah, well, that's because they think that every song that's a parody is done by Weird Al, so that helps them out a little bit.
No, they don't. Some people think it's Bob and Tom. Riding high on the shock jock market.
But like, I think the goofiness that they have and their whole thing appeals to the
why
same
are you
thing.
saying this against yourself? Like, why are you doing this?
I'm not.
You don't have to do this right now. You're saying, why would you say that Weird Al is similar to Lin-Manuel Miranda?
I'm not saying that they're similar.
What the fuck did you just say then?
I said that
Can we roll that back? Can we? I can't wait to watch this fucking when it's done and on demand.
I'm gonna get fucking hoisted by my own petard.
Like, hey, actually, I think they're very similar. Cut to fucking 4 minutes later. I'm not saying they're similar. All I'm saying.
No, I'm saying that the thing that
dads people like them. You know, white suburban dads who are famous for fucking liking Hamilton. Yeah, dude, Trump and Hamilton. That's what I'm fucking into. In Kettering, Ohio.
I'm saying that like Weird Al appeals to white Republican like suburban dads, and I'm saying that Hamilton like appeals to the liberal version of that. Which isn't to say that Weird Al is like a conservative or anything.
No, I don't.
He's apolitical.
I don't think Republicans like Weird Al, man.
I feel like they do.
I don't know how to fucking solve this, but I firmly feel that.
I think they like Weird Al in the way that they like actors. But then if the actor says anything about politics, they're like, go back to acting.
Yeah.
Right. I think they like Weird Al because they like his art, and they like him as a person. They like his like personality. But if he were to speak about anything political, I think it would be very much like the shut up and go back to playing the accordion, old man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel like if that was gonna happen, that would have happened.
Which is not
he
his
does
fault.
all this lib shit.
But I guess what I'm saying is like
I feel
that's
like
not his fault, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to Sarah about this the other day. The problem is that like culture in America is inherently conservative to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like we default to like white male conservatism in America. Which is why when anything ever tries to step out of that, people on Reddit or the internet or wherever shit their pants and get really mad about it. Right? It's why no games are political unless a game has a lesbian in it. And then suddenly games are political. You'll overlook literally everything political in games that is actually about politics to focus on the fact that to them what political means does not look like me. And that is because American culture is has inherent conservatism in the same way that your average American TV show is either at this point like a home fixer upper show or a cop procedural. And so I don't think that Weird Al
I don't think you know what the fuck you're talking about right now.
I may be high on my own fucking supply.
I think you've been hoisted by your own petard. I think you are in some deep denial about whether it's okay to still like Weird Al.
I mean, I didn't listen to his
went
last
to Kettering, Ohio, and saw a lot of old white people, and then felt nervous about something that you were interested in, and thought maybe I don't want to be in this demographic.
Concert. No, that was a weird
concert. It was in Kettering, Ohio, my dude.
It was a weird concert because it was all originals, right?
Yeah.
Like there was no, or very few.
Yeah. Do you think the majority of the audience knew that, or do you think they just saw it as a Weird Al concert?
I mean, he advertised it. That was the whole tour. Was that it was?
Does a lot of culture come through Kettering, Ohio?
Yeah, Kettering, Ohio is the cultural some would say it's
Ohio.
Yeah, some would say it's like city zero of Ohio, and everything else that has come out of Ohio began in Kettering.
What's city zero?
Like a patient zero, being the start of like a disease. I'm saying that
you're saying Ohio is a disease.
I'm saying that America began and will end with Kettering, Ohio.
You're saying Ohio is more is like the heartworm of it all.
Sure. I was thinking more of like a trichinosis. That's the worm that's inside of
you couldn't let me have a little joke, huh? You couldn't let me have a little pun on the heart of it all, where I could say a parasite and then say the heart.
This is Nick. This is
words like trypanosis. Like, cool. What's that? When you take acid and then try and hypnotize each other, you jerk each other off. I don't know what you're into. Get off Arrowhead and pay attention to the podcast.
See, this is why we need to take the class on improv.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe next semester we can not do improv and we can take big word class. We learn big words like hydrochrondosis, hydrothrombolus, where you got a big water head. What's that one called, Paul?
Hydrorhombulus?
No, we got a big water head.
That's hydroencephalic.
Yeah, no, that's where you got a big water dick. Hydrocephalic. Big water head. You know what I'm talking about.
It's hydroencephaly. And it's not. And there might be there's another syllable in there that I'm fucking up.
Hydrocephalic means water on the brain. Duh.
I'm sorry. Encephaly is where there's not any water in there. It's the opposite.
Yeah,
that's why I was fucking that up.
Yeah, maybe you should take.
I shouldn't be allowed to talk, Nick. You're right. I should shut up.
Oh God, you
have to do the rest of THIMK by yourself. You have to do all the Hamilton songs by yourself.
Mm-hmm. I just think Weird Al's main demographic is like weird little all like comedy kids. Like every guy, every person, all of us, all of the us's that now have a podcast for no reason when we have no merit or reason to have one are Weird Al fans. Like Weird Al has appeared on Comedy Bang Bang.
Mhm.
He's like friends with Tenacious D, friends with Mark Hamill. Like he's appeared on the Eric Andre show
He
this
basically lives
this
in The
season.
Simpsons,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. He is the backbone of The Simpsons. He's collaborated with like Tunify the News or Auto Tune the News and fucking Shlow Moho. Like um in every weird little comedy, he's been on 30 Rock, like in any weird little like comedy place he can be, he's there. I don't I
I
don't
guess what I'm saying is that I think Weird Al the person and Weird Al the brand are wholly different.
I don't okay, maybe. But I feel like Weird Al, the brand that you're talking about, is maybe people that still think he has like a crazy hair and a mustache.
Oh yeah, sure. It's very outdated. Like there are people who probably haven't listened to Weird Al since Straight Out of um Linwood came out. I forgot. I almost said Compton, but that's the name of the album that he's riffing on. Like the last Weird Al album they listened to was probably the one where he did the White Nerdy parody, and they were just like,
The
"Ooh, he's
last
covering."
album they listened to was probably fucking
Like,
uh
oh, he's covering urban
Bad Hair
songs.
Day,
Yeah.
and maybe they
Oh,
saw White and Nerdy.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's people.
I
They want him to
Weird
go
Al,
back to doing
Weird
parodies
Al,
of.
I would say Weird Al's main audience is aggressively liberal.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not saying I think Republicans probably like eat it, but
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I think that I guess what I think is that his main audience is the people who think about Weird Al solely in response to the songs that he covered that are songs that they like to listen to now, which are like oldies, right? Like
you think that's his
basically.
main audience? The guy who
No, I'm
just
not
did an
saying. I'm not
original.
saying.
You just said
I'm
it was his
saying.
main audience. You just said the words his main audience.
I mean, how many people are out there listening to fucking the Russia album that he did?
Uh,
No fun, no fun allowed. What was the name of that album?
Mandatory fun.
Mandatory fun. The opposite of no fun allowed.
Yeah, fine. I'm gonna fucking pull it up, dude. Let's look at this fucking Spotify.
Look, give me the track list. Welcome to the. You thought we were going to talk about Hamilton. Now it's just Nick and I arguing about a fucking Weird Al
No
for
one's
30
watching
minutes.
this. Okay, yeah, fuck you, man. Number 1, Amish Paradise. Number 2, White and Nerdy. Number 3, Captain Underpants theme song. Number 4, The Saga Begins. Number 5, Who's Gonna Stop Me?
You cannot use the Spotify. The Spotify thing is notoriously bad. He did an album in 2017 called Squeeze. Oh no, it's just a complete works.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that was packaged in a special
Yeah, so 2014, I think is his last official album. That's Mandatory Fun. Has Handy.
Are you just reading me the track list? I know what the album
Word
has.
Crimes. Word Crimes. People like that one. All right, you know what?
Yeah, Reddit liked that one.
People loved
Your
Word
average
Crimes.
fucking narwhal bacons at midnights shit. If anything, Hamilton's in the same demographic as
Sure.
Weird Al.
I will say that Word Crimes also appeals to like the people who think that kids just aren't talking properly nowadays.
Okay, Paul, we need to talk about this.
What do we need to talk about?
On Spotify, Weird Al Yankovic, about where people listen. Number 1 is Chicago, USA.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that that's because of me, but I would like to say
how many does it say how many listens?
It says 15,469 nice listens, which is it's pretty close. Pretty close to your average day.
That's less listens than I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy year.
That's probably I feel like Weird Al fans probably are buying physical copies. They probably for the most part aren't using Spotify.
Second most common. What the fuck did you just say? You think most people? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Second most common location is Sydney, Australia.
Big down under.
Followed by Brisbane, Australia.
Really big down under.
Yeah.
Damn.
Followed by
Melbourne?
Dallas.
Okay, Dallas.
Followed by Atlanta.
Okay.
Not in Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
Not
The
Houston.
TV show.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Not Macon.
Are you trying to imply something here?
I
That
just
those
feel
aren't
like-
suburban? Do you think those are
I-
Do you think
I-
do you think Spotify does a breakdown by the suburbs? Is that what you're trying to own me over right now? Is it like, oh,
Yeah.
Atlanta is a city and not a suburb? Do you think if somebody's in the fucking suburbs of Atlanta, they're
No, I
really going to
just
say
don't know any
Stockbridge?
other
Do you think fucking Stockbridge, Georgia is going to be listed? Like, go look up Collective Soul.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure that's that band that's from Stockbridge.
You fucking look up.
I'm working on it. Yeah, from Stockbridge, Georgia. Let's look at them on Spotify. Where do people listen to them? I'm working on it, Nick.
I'm just saying of fucking the cities in that these are liberal cities. These are democratic cities.
I don't think Dallas is the liberals.
I think they got a Democrat running fucking Dallas, dude. They got a Democrat mayor.
I have to open up Spotify as the app and not as a browser in order to look up this information about the band Collective Soul, whose biggest song is nobody knows the title of, but it's just a guy going, yeah.
It's called Shine.
I know it's called Shine.
Okay,
I know that.
They are okay. It's four of the same cities. You're right. Those are the most popular.
Hold up. Are you looking at Collective Soul?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
This is Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta, Brisbane, and then Santiago, Chile.
So what's the one difference is
Sydney. They're not big in Sydney.
I don't even know what to do with that data, my guy.
Sometimes that data is really weird, right? Like if you look up Upstairs, a band that's taking the nation by storm.
Upstairs suck?
Yeah. Here's where we're big. All right, ready? Oh, this is fucking weird. Omaha.
Okay.
Canberra, Australia. Sydney, Australia. Edmonton, Canada. Airdrie, Canada. Air-dried Canada.
It's probably air-dried Canada.
Air-dried Canada. So,
do you know any of these bands that people also like? Oh, Pavement.
Wait, really? There was a band on that. It used to be a bunch of bands that like no.
Yeah, you got Mac DeMarco, Ty Segall, Broken Social Scene.
Oceanator, I know. Into It, Over It, I know. Motley Crue is the funniest one to me.
That rocks, yeah.
The National is very funny. I mean, that makes sense. Mac DeMarco, I'm not entirely sure. Sharon Von Etten, Broken Social Scene. Some of these are, I think there's a rap artist named Upstairs as well. So I think some of these might be pulling from that. Are people who are looking for that and went like, this isn't rap music. Move on. Motley Crue is still incredible to me. I want to know who. I want to know who.
I think Air Dry Canada is kind of the capital of rap in Canada. Kind of the city zero, as you said.
Yeah, city zero. I would love to know if you love Motley Crue and you love the band that I'm in Upstairs. Please write to what's our email address? THIMK at THIMK.com. Do we have an email address? How can people contact us, Nick?
Go to the fucking website. I don't know, DM us.
Yeah. I just want to know who. I want to know who is out there, and I want to I would like.
You type in thinkthepodcast.com. It's like
it's right. It's below.
It's right fucking down. It's right
there. If you're listening to this on the podcast and not live, it'll appear below you as if in a dream.
Yeah, it's listen, we got some links. You can watch us on Twitch.
We got some Bobcats.
We have a Patreon. Shit, I gotta post something about.
We've got a Puma.
We got a Facebook, we got an Instagram, we got a Twitter, we got an iTunes, we got a Spotify, we got a Stitcher, we got an RSS, whatever that is. We got a Google Podcast, and then we got to contact us. Right below that is tip us.
So, yeah, but let me know. I just want to know what Motley Crue songs you love. Because I
What
don't know
Motley
any.
Crue songs would you like to see an upstairs cover on their Motley
Absolutely.
Crue?
We're going to do a Motley Crue
Their
tour.
Motley Crue cover album. That's pretty good, dude.
Oh, boy. You can also let us know what Hamilton
I
songs
wish
you would like
Hamilton
us
had
to
a little
cover.
more rock and roll.
You wish what?
Hamilton had a little more rock and roll.
Okay, so let's forget Hamilton. Right.
Done.
Fuck Hamilton. If you wanted to do a musical about a historical figure in, I guess it could be anything. I don't want to necessarily limit to America. Who would it be, Nick, and what musical style? So Hamilton's an American musical that's styled as rap or hip hop.
Yes.
Who would you want to do a similar like biopic type musical of, and like like roughly what genre, right? Because I think that this musical does kind of stretch to encompass, because rap and hip hop are not necessarily terms that really
there's that
mean.
one song that sounds like an Evanescence song.
I still don't know what song you're talking about, but
That's the one.
I'll have to watch it.
I'll
I'll have to watch it again and figure it out.
I'd probably do like a musical about Jack the Ripper done in like screamo. Like a Jack the Ripper screamo musical.
You would like to get Brokenside's Jack the Ripper musical.
Yeah, I would like to get Brokenside's Jack the Ripper.
Okay, that would work.
Yeah, it'd be good. Or I do like or I do like a what they call it like a spoken word,
like slam poetry.
No, just like spoken word
Beatnik
on the life of Abe. No, just like spoken word Abe Vigoda story.
Vigoda. That's just that song by what's that band? Fish?
The Beatles?
Fish?
I don't know. I don't listen to that heavy shit.
I think it's Fish. Here's what I would do. I would do a biopic or a musical about Leon Trotsky.
A biomuck. Oh, really? You would do Trotsky?
I would do, but here's how you get people. It would be Trotsky, but the music would be Italo disco.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Like a very specific type of like electronica disco music.
I like to do a krautrock Leonardo da Vinci.
I do krautrock Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ooh, I'd do any kind of Leonardo DiCaprio.
And the last song would be him finally winning an Oscar.
I would like to do
eaten by a bear.
I would like to do the Patty Hearst story with the music of Linkin Park.
Okay. Let's do. Here's what I'm thinking. I would like to do The Birds. Alice Cooper.
Ooh, that's The Birds?
The Birds.
A biography of just birds?
No. Well, both of those would be good. I was thinking a biography of Alice Cooper by The Birds.
Okay. No,
but I guess a biography of birds, like Alice Cooper writing a bunch of songs about his favorite birds, would also be really good.
No, a biography of birds. So like how they were dinosaurs and now they're pigeons.
Yeah.
What about a grime story of fucking Napoleon?
Okay.
Jazz Genghis Khan?
Jazz Genghis Khan would be sure.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm just combining characters and things from all of the Bill and Ted movies.
Yeah. Joan of Arc, Mozart.
What about
I'm sorry, Beethoven. That's two things from Bill and Ted.
You say Joan of Arc, Mozart. It sounds like we're trying to write a verse about from We Didn't Start the Fire.
a very bad Actually, Billy Joel would be a good one. Like, let's get Billy Joel. His
About
music.
him or his music?
No, his music. Like Billy Joel's, like his 70s, 80s output.
Yeah, and what's it gonna be about?
I think it's gonna be about fuck. Who's the guy who you had up in there in Chicago there for a bit before Rahm Emanuel?
What the fuck are you asking?
Daley, the Daley, Chicago mayor. Like, give me the give me the like the really shitty man.
Daily?
Yeah.
Why'd you say the Daily?
No, Daley.
Daily?
Daley, Richard Daley.
And I don't know who the fuck Richard Daley is.
Oh my god, he was the mayor of Chicago from 89 to 2011, Nick.
I wasn't alive for half of that. And his
dad was the mayor before. It was like a long political empire in Chicago.
Jazz number of Ivan the Terrible, pretty good. How about who's like a psych rock version of Caligula's story, Caligula's whole thing.
Is that isn't that the Kubrick film? Did Kubrick do that film? That wasn't Kubrick. I don't know who did that Caligula film.
Dead, brother.
Yeah, he died, unfortunately.
Let me just Google Caligula film
movie.
I know how to spell
it has the guy who played Alex from Clockwork Orange.
Yes, it does.
Because I watched Clockwork Orange and it was like
Bob Guccione.
Baba Ganoush.
He's the guy who started Penthouse, the pornography magazine.
Good. I read it for the letters. Those are also pornographic in nature. I'm pretty sure that joke doesn't work as well. Joke doesn't work as well with Penthouse.
Yeah, I read it for the just the general horniness.
I read it for the jacking off. Yeah.
yeah. I read it because what it does to my ding dong when I'm alone. That's personally why I read the Penthouse Forum. It's a men's magazine. No.
I mean,
it's an everybody magazine.
Yeah. Oh boy, Nick, we should wrap up. I think at this point we're losing the plot.
Absolutely not.
At this point, I do not remember the plot of Hamilton. He dies at the end, right?
I don't know. I didn't fucking finish that movie. It's just
okay. Sorry, spoiler alert. He dies. Here's another thing. To bring it back, here's the thing that I also was like slightly bothered by is that the way they end this musical is like being like, and nobody would have known anything about Hamilton if it weren't for his beloved wife, Elizabeth Hamilton, or whatever. You know, they call her Eliza. She's Egbert Hamilton. They're like, she carried on his message, and that's why we know everything that we know about him today. And I'm just like, really? Then why the fuck did you treat her character like shit the entire time?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to pull this, like, try to do this, like, weird feminist message there at the end of, like, behind every great man is a great woman, when you, like, literally the entire play is just her being like, I would love to smash that dick.
Yeah. Well, maybe that was just, like, how she wrote, you know?
You think she wrote some of her own Penthouse letters about Alexander Hamilton?
Yeah, I think she was like, he was an orphan and he was really fucking annoying and he had a stupid ass face and he punched a bursar and then tried to do some wordplay with this guy I know. And then my sisters were super horny for him, but I was like, no, the only person that's getting that Hamel cock is this Egbert. And then
Vanessa, whatever her name is. No, his mistress that he had.
That was just his wife being hyperbolic.
There was a whole thing also about like, I guess it's debatable, like in actual history, not in the play. In the play, it's very clear that he does throw away his shot, right? Like that's why he talks so much about how he's not going to throw away his shot earlier.
Well, if he didn't throw away his shot, then Aaron Burr wouldn't have fucking killed him, right? If he shot
Right.
Aaron Burr.
Well, so I mean, none of the people in the first duel threw away their shot, and that dude still got shot. Apparently,
There were two
the
duels.
pistols. Yeah, there's a duel earlier between Lee and
JFK.
I forget the other guy's name. Hamilton wanted to shoot Lee because Lee was talking smack about George Washington. It's not important. It's like maybe Lafayette or something. I don't know. It's not important.
These people died hundreds of years ago, and they were all.
But the thing is, the pistols are bad, Nick. They had bad pistols. It was
Weird Al songs, dudes.
It was like 1794. It was 1804 when Hamilton died. He's got a bad pistol, bad aim, and so it's debatable whether or not he was going to throw away his shot. There's like one piece of paper where, like, they're like, "Oh yeah, Hamilton told his son that he was going to throw away his shot," and it's like, well, his son's dead.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Back then, shooting a gun was like Randy Johnson throwing a friggin' pebble.
What?
Big unit throwing a friggin' little rock.
The capital of Arkansas?
What?
Little Rock.
Arkansas? I think it's all Arkansas. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah, you got anything you want to fucking plug?
Yeah, we're gonna stream on Saturday. I'm trying to.
Not. Why
we're
start
not
now?
Stream. Wow. Okay. Never mind. We're not gonna stream on Saturday.
We can stream on Saturday. We can stream on Saturday. Or Friday. I'll fucking stream on Thursday. Watch me.
Did purchase Hitman, the new Hitman.
Oh, but now it's okay to hit men.
Yeah.
3.
They deserve to. They deserve it, Nick. They're bad. That's the thing about these Hitman games is like the people who are getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
They're bad people.
Is that all you do? Is that a game where you just walk up to people and you punch them and you walk away?
You can do. Yeah, I mean you can do a lot.
Basically how I play Grand Theft Auto.
The other day I drowned him in a I gave him rat poison, so he threw up, and then I drowned him in a toilet.
Well, with games where you're supposed to kill people, I thrive in games where you're not supposed to kill people. And when I say thrive, I mean I have to do the same thing over and over and over and over again.
This seems like it can.
Some
be kind
people
of
say I'm still trying to get through that segment in Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm. He's still out there today, running over
right
people
now
on the sidewalk
on my other monitor.
No, it's like it can be sandboxy. There's ways to have fun with it. We could do that.
I hate sand.
Okay, we can do.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere. I want to play
a
game that's nothing like sand.
Okay. Well, you think about it. We'll figure it out. What time?
What's the most linear game? Probably Tetris, right?
No, because it goes down and then it goes back up.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
They only go down.
I would say it's Super Mario.
Wow.
He only goes one direction, dude.
No, you can run backwards though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's the most linear game? It's Pepsi Man. It's Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man's probably the most linear game.
Paperboy, by that logic, is also.
Yeah, Pepsi Man and Paperboy, the most linear games. The opposite of Grand Theft Auto. Pepsi Man. That's what everyone's saying. So join us this weekend when I'll be playing Pepsi Man and Paul will be playing Gary's mod.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna play Gary's mod.
Fine, we get swapped. I'll play Gary's mod, and then we'll do it at the same time, like an upstairs song.
I'll drink.
We'll just overlay our footage of us playing games and video feed on top of each other, and mix our audio equally.
That sounds like it'd be horrible and bad.
The people have been saying our content is just too watchable, and that we should try and make it less
watchable.
Saying
that? Nick, I would like to know who is saying that our content is watchable.
Have you been checking our email?
No, I'm still waiting to hear about Molly Crew.
I deleted them all now, but yeah, you should. You probably just missed it.
They were just like, keep it up. This content is watchable.
No, they said I would like to enjoy this, but it's too enjoyable, so it turns me off of it. It's like you're too when someone's like you're too approachable, you know, and people are always coming up to you just like yelling at you.
They should call this podcast Fossil because of how watchable it is.
They should call this podcast Zodiac because of how many slaves we have in paradise.
I'm gonna eat my screen. I'm just gonna unhinge my mouth and eat the screen. No, I don't have anything to plug. Upstairs has got
They
new
should call
music.
this podcast Casio because
Play me out, Sam.
who?
No. Upstairs has got some new music coming out in probably a month's time, something like that.
Nice.
We haven't announced it, so consider this a heads up. But I'm pretty excited.
Mm-hmm. Go to onlyfans.com/bad Luigi. That's where I'll be releasing my slam dance version of the life and times of the Unabomber. It's kind of a little passion project I've been working on for like
Is that is that interpretive dance? Is that what that is?
Slam dance. It's like dancing where you slam.
Okay.
It's like, you know basketball?
Yeah.
Slam ball?
It's like slam ball. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's
dance.
for dancing. Yeah, and it's about the Unabomber and his.
Okay. I feel like there are other people who would say that slam dancing is a very different thing that doesn't involve a trampoline, but
I never said it involved a trampoline. Maybe in your heart.
okay. All right. Well, I'll have to see it. It feels like one of those things where like somebody could say
$69 a month to sign up. It will be released in 1 minute installments over the next few years.
Sure. Oh boy.
But yeah, that's
we're back. What are we doing next week, Nick?
Next week we're gonna talk about whatever we want because it's improv, baby.
It's improv, baby. Some might say that tonight was kind of an improv.
No, we had a we did news, and that we did current events, and then we did a review of a musical where we talked a lot about
Weird Al.
He did do the Hamilton polka, so it's relevant.
Sure.
I'll
give it to you.
Thank you for tuning in to this. What's that thing where you say a word and then you think of the next word that comes to mind?
Telephone.
To this Thank you for tuning into this telephone. Don't call. Hey, until next time, don't. Hey,
don't hang up without us.
Until next time. Hey, put down that phone and look at me. Don't you dare think too hard without us.
Keep your fingers on the dial. We don't call it a dial anymore.
Keep your hands close and your fingers even closer.
And save the last phone call for yourself.
Bye.
Bye.